Hi, welcome to Quantum Heart Awakening. My name is Karen. I am a transpersonal educator, spiritual coach, and oracle. So today we're going to drop in and do a divine feminine check-in. So for the overall reading, we will be looking through the lens of these messages. We have follow your dreams, we have intuition in reverse, and we have time out in reverse. So there may be a call to higher, deeper rest feminines. So where are you not taking care of self? Where are you pushing past your limits and your boundaries? Okay, in order to take steps in alignment with your soul and your dreams, you're going to need your intuition alongside of you. So there's something here about when you take the time to ground and rest and take care of self, this will help you give access to discernment and your intuition, which will pave the way for you to take the necessary aligned steps to follow your dreams. Okay, I'll keep these on the side. Okay, I wasn't going to look, but I had to look. So in the unconscious here for the overall reading, sorry, I was just feeling the energy of this card. So we have fourth and fifth chakras. We have the heart and the throat here, and it says domestic harmony. So this, whoa, did you hear that? That's thunder. I don't know if that came up on camera, but it interrupted me when I said domestic harmony. So yeah, some of you might have some thunder and rumbles this could be direct and mean a marriage, or it could just be your home life. Is there some turbulence or some thunder in your home life? If you drop into your body and spirit, can you feel the storm rolling in? So this is something that has been pushed into the unconscious feminine. So basically, where in your life are you not owning that these rumbles are happening? You know, when we hear the rumbles, the thunderstorms rolling in, that gives us a little bit of a heads up, right? We hear it before it actually arrives. So, yeah, it would behoove you to bring this out of the dark into the light, because it might inform your next steps going forward. Okay, that was I didn't even know that card existed in that deck. It was pretty specific. Okay, let's see where we go, feminines. How are you all doing? Are you taking care of your body? Are you hydrating? Did you hear that? Wow. That like rattled my house. That was incredible. Yesterday, I had a really intense experience where I woke up so dizzy that I actually would lose my balance and fall over. And so it was pretty bad. I stayed in bed all day, and I woke up a little bit better today, but still feeling like I was stuck in the liminal space. You know, that liminal space between sleep and awake? You know, you're kind of like still, you could maybe even still be in a dream, and yet you could kind of hear what's going on in waking consciousness. There's something happening, and it may very well be an ascension experience. We may be experiencing some form of energetic upgrade. But I always have to remember that for me personally, when there is a collective event, I usually physically experience it 1 to 2 weeks prior to the collective. I think that's mainly because I'm called upon to teach and usher in grounding for that kind of collective upheaval. Sorry, I just got distracted because I looked outside my window, and on the left side of my house, it's raining, and on the right side, there's sunny skies. That is the weirdest thing ever. I wonder if there's a rainbow somewhere. That's really bizarre. So yeah, I'm wondering, feminines, if, you know, you are simultaneously kind of living this duality versus non-duality, this dual and non-dual existence simultaneously. That's really weird. I'm going to track it as we go. But so we have a leg up in reverse, exchanging gifts, and a fork in the road in reverse. Okay, I'm not even going to read on this. I'm going to just get more cards because there's just a lot here. Let's see. This is very rare. This hasn't happened to me where I pull the primary cards and I don't have a message. But I'm wondering if that's because, hold on, let's keep these out and just look at everything together, okay? Let's see if these all speak to one another. Oh, okay. All right, I was right. I'm making, you know, it's funny because normally only one overall card comes out and 3 came out. So I should have known better. Okay. So, fork in the road and, okay. Okay, these are matching up almost perfectly. So there's something that in order to get a leg up on your dreams, in order to set yourself up for the highest and best possible next step that's in alignment with whatever your dream is, it could be anything. It's unique to you. It could be starting a business, having a child, getting married. It could be getting in shape. It could be anything, whatever your dream is. You're going to have to honor the gifts of where you are in the present moment. There's something here about the divine is not going to give you more gifts to open up until you acknowledge and hone the gifts that you already have. By stepping into your current gifts, this will help fine-tune your intuition, right? So look at this. We have a fork in the road in reverse and time out. So right now, you don't have the choices. You don't have the opportunities right now to make decisions. There's something, isn't it interesting that, wait a second, let me look. Yeah, isn't it interesting that there's like this triangle of reversals and then this one card exchanging gifts is in the upright in the center of this kind of like pyramid shape. Let me just look at this card for a moment. So we have what appears to be a fairy ballerina coming out of a gift box. And then we have this curious cat kind of playing with the wrapping or some of the hearts that she's throwing out. She's wearing a mask. Okay, message in this. So for some feminines, where in your life are you masking your gifts? Are there certain communities, or maybe are you hiding your gifts at work? You know, it's very common in the spiritual communities for people to have very magical gifts that they hide from the rest of the world, right? And rightfully so. For a very long time, it hasn't been safe for us to come out and share our whatever gifts you have, your psychic gifts or your healing abilities or your claircognizance or any of your clair gifts. You know, it's very, for a very long time in our history, especially, remember, this is a divine feminine reading. So in our history, we have had witches burned at the stakes, right? It was such a manipulative mechanism to condemn someone to witchhood, right? God forbid they had one intuitive nudge and then you were deemed a witch and burned at the stake or tried and whatever it was. So we're coming out of that place, and it is now safe to stand in our truth, stand in our spiritual truth. We have had to endure nourishing and nurturing our gifts in silent, right? There might have been a time and a place where the masks kept us safe. Well, now we're being called to kind of come out of the, you know, spiritual closet, so to speak. Beautiful. Okay, let's see what else we get. That I feel better. When those 3 cards, the second row came out, when I tell you, it was just flat for me. There was like nothing. It was very interesting to have dead air from spirit. All right, let me see what else we get. Anything else for divine feminines? Anything else for divine feminines? What else would you like to share, spirit? Anything else? Anything else? Okay, we have lighten your load, we have finding, and we have trust in reverse. I feel like we just got these cards in another reading. I did shuffle. And what's on the bottom? Clarity. Oh my God, we had clarity on the bottom in recently in another reading. Okay. So, clarity in the unconscious positions, feminines. What are you not seeing clearly? What do you know to be true that you're not allowing yourself to believe? Is there something here? I just realized that none of this is on camera. Hold on. There we go. That works. Is there something you're failing to, I don't like to use the word failing. Is there something you're denying? Is there a truth that is incredibly obvious to you, but you're not ready to illuminate it? Is there something that you're pushing away? I'm remembering the domestic harmony in the unconscious position here. So are you not seeing something about your relationship, about your home life? If you're still living at home with family or your parents or your grandparents or something, this could also be an awareness about your family lineage, about your ancestors, about maybe you see a pattern in your grandmother and your mother's relationship, or your grandfather and your father's relationship. Maybe the veil has dropped and you're able to see these kind of ancestral patterns very clearly. This is so important because it allows you to take accountability for how you can, step outside of the pattern, right? Okay. And if this is like a marriage, if this is a relationship, I feel like I don't even have to elaborate. I think we all know when we're in a relationship where there is disharmony, I think we had a gut instinct probably very close to the beginning about something that we were nervous about, or maybe we were just had a dissonant feeling. Oh, sorry, I keep knocking over this whole setup. Forgive me. It's a whole new setup today, so I don't think I'm going to keep this one, but you never know. We'll try it. Yeah, so I just want to bring a lot of grace and compassion to this very difficult thing. It's really easy to keep all the masks on, right? It's really easy to nourish the relationship so it looks good to friends, family, and on social media. So where are you kind of wearing a false mask, and what would help you step into a deeper, more authentic truth? Do you need support? Is it a dangerous situation? Do you have a support system? Do you have friends or family that would believe you if you share with them the turmoil or the upheaval of whatever this thing is? I'm not saying it's all bad stuff, but it could just be that your partner wants to move to Japan and you are not in alignment with that. It doesn't have to be like a domestic violence situation. However, if it is, do you have the support system around you? If you don't, is there someone or some place you can reach out to start, putting the wheels in motion, so to speak, and start taking deeper accountability for your safety, for your truth, for your own happiness, and for your life? Okay, so let's drop into these cards. We have lightening your load, we have finding, and trust. So trust is in reverse. So there is distrust in the nervous system. What happens when our nervous system feels distrust? Well, we go into some flavor of activation, right? When we don't feel trust in our body, then we don't really feel safe. And when we don't feel safe, usually our nervous system is activated in some way. Yes, it could be a formal activation like a fight, flight, freeze, or fawn response. Okay, I'm being called to tell you this little story. So one of my mentors is Carolyn Mace. I'm obsessed with her. And I'm also obsessed with Clarissa Pinkola Estes, who I'm sure you've known. I'm sure you guys know who her famous book is, Women Who Run with Wolves. And so these powerhouse women had a wonderful, wonderful dialogue. It's an audio book. I think it's called Women and the Mystical Life. And they were talking about intuition or women in the intuitive mystical life. I don't know what it was called, but they were talking just like it was as if there was a recording of them just hanging out and having this wonderful conversation. Wait, I'm losing the thread of why I was going to tell you this. Oh, the trauma responses. So Clarissa Pinkola Estes brought this really beautiful alternative to a trauma response. Yes, there's fighting where you feel like you want to go on the offense and attack the situation. There's fleeing, which, if you feel unsafe, you bolt, right? You get out of dodge. There's fawning where you tend to perform for the abuser or for the aggressor in order to feel safe, maybe in order to buy their affection, to calm the situation. And there was another one that's a newer one. I can't remember it. I just heard it recently. But anyway, so Clarissa Pinkola Estes brought up this really beautiful trauma response in that some people turn to source. Another trauma response is when there is crisis, there are some people that immediately turn to prayer, lean on their spirit guides, turn to their spiritual practices. And this is such a sacred response to actually train our nervous system that when we feel fear, when we feel dysregulated, to actually go straight to source and ask for guidance, ask for grounding, ask for clarity on what the next steps through this path. I so often say when I feel stuck or something, God, help me find a path through this. Give me the strength to take one step forward. Oh, I don't know why I'm getting emotional saying that, but it's because it works and it's beautiful. And to feel that oneness and to feel like we're never alone is so powerful, especially when we're in the trenches of a difficult situation. So there's something here about feminines. You don't have to handle everything on your own. Okay, let's just put this out. It's almost like there's that great line of when you go to sleep, give all your troubles up to God because they're going to be awake anyway. There's something about this of you don't have to carry the world on your back. And that's such a feminine woman thing to do, right? We've been kind of bred that way or geared that way or raised that way to basically give our lives to our family and to anyone else in need and to make everyone else feel comfortable and to pander to whatever the situation is and go out of our way, bend over backwards, put all of our needs last, right? We've kind of been at the mercy of this patriarchal system, and it's taken so much energy to recalibrate the brain, to actually love ourselves enough to put ourselves first, to understand that it's not just my load to carry, right? If there's a family, there's a bunch of other people that can help carry this load. Anyway, so for me, this feels like a very Mother Gaia card. I don't know why. She has vines in her hair and there's butterflies, and there's something here about giving your load up to the divine, giving it back to the quantum field, to the void space, whatever you want to call it. Something here about giving your load back to God and finding your grounding, finding who you are and who you were, maybe finding that beautiful, sweet little innocent spirit that you had since you incarnated here. And sometimes when we grow up and we take on all these different roles, whether that's your professional role or a role as a daughter, a mother, a wife, whatever it is, it's really easy to kind of lose this core connection with our core frequency, our core inner sweet self. So there's something here that by learning to put your faith in spirit, in source, in the quantum field, to really trust that what you vibrate out will come back to you, is what will shift this trust, right? When you have faith in the divine and start building off of that type of foundation, you start to trust yourself more. When you start to trust yourself more, your confidence goes up, your self-esteem goes up, your intuition is strengthened, your discernment, you feel more confident to make these wise discernments because you actually love yourself enough. You trust yourself, you trust your beliefs, you validate your thoughts, feelings, emotions, intuitions. There's so much knowing, right? There's so much courage then to take a next beautiful step that's in alignment with your soul's deepest truth and your deepest passions. And you go after the things that you want and you're on fire and you just want more of it and you want to share it and celebrate. Like, do you feel the crescendo of this kind of sacred domino effect when you put your trust in source? It has never failed me. That's why I kind of talk about it so much. But yeah, let's get some goddess cards really quick. I haven't used these in a while. Let's see. All right, what do divine feminines need to know? What do divine feminines need to know? Okay, we have shame in reverse. That's how I like to receive shame. We have cosmic power in reverse. Okay, I'm getting a little bit of that witch narrative coming up. Anything else? Anything else for, what does this say? Secrets revealed. Okay. Yeah, I feel like we're not that far into this, but I feel like we're already getting repeating messages here that, let's just say it, the feminine has been shamed for hundreds and hundreds of years. And I mean, do I say thousands of years? I'm not quite sure, but I feel like feminine power has been intimidating for the masculine to receive. And so what does the masculine do when they're intimidated? Well, they want to divide and they want to conquer, right? They want to divide, conquer, and control feminine energy. And all of that pain and all of that shame from being powerful has cut us off from our cosmic power, from our divine source. And so I kind of sort of love this freaking trio right here. We have secrets revealed. I mean, come on. It's like the secret of our power has been revealed to the collective. And so, there may be some masculines in this world that aren't ready to hold the vibration of a powerful feminine energy. And it's a shame because, that's another shame message here. It is a shame because everyone can benefit from this exalted feminine, right? Masculines need to embrace their internal feminine and exalt them to the throne, right? Put their internal feminine on their rightful throne. Beautiful. What's in the unconscious? Boom. We have live out loud. Yeah, there's a shame here, feminines. There's a shame here from living your feminine power out loud. It's getting shoved into the shadow. So our job is to lovingly illuminate what we try to hide from the rest of the world. And there's no rush. There's no rush. This is deep, deep, intimate work. And sometimes it takes a lot of grounded presence to support the parts that are scared or that are blocking you from living your truth out loud. Okay, very cool. Let's see, where else should we go? Let's get a little self-care moment. I'm just in the mood. Let's get a lovely little self-care action. Hold on. Okay, what do feminines need to know? What would be lovely to hear? What would support them in stepping out of shame and into the light? Anything else, Spirit? Oh, geez, we're getting a bunch. I'm just going to keep shuffling until they stop popping out. That's the kind of mood I'm in right now. Okay. Okay, that's a lot. Let's start there. All right. We have love in the unconscious. Love people, love them with all your heart. Just be sure to love yourself first. Yep, feminines, this is in alignment with this entire reading. You guys hear me say this, I feel like at least once a week in a reading, that most of you, if you're listening to me, I bet you're here to be in service to the collective. I bet you're on this sacred path of illumination and you're doing an incredible job. Now, part of our role as healers, as empaths, of people here to shift collective consciousness is to be in service, right? In service to the collective. But a big lesson in that is, and most of us unfortunately have to learn this lesson, that if our service does not include ourselves, our service is incomplete. Right? If we are in service to everyone but ourselves, we are stepping into a process that is not sustainable. We will burn out. At its worst, we can really harm our bodies. We can burn out. We can, betray and reject these parts of self that are screaming for support or to be heard. So there's something here to make sure that you're bringing love to self first and filling your own cup first. Okay, let's see what we got. We have a ton of cards here. We have time. Time spent worrying is time spent. Okay. Release. Sometimes the best way to grow is simply to let go. Absolutely. Decision. Didn't we have another? Yes, we had the fork in the road card. This reminds me of the fork in the road card. And this is a very, reminds me of like the alchemical. We have the sun and the moon, the masculine and the feminine. What does this say? Decision. It says sometimes the best decision is no decision at all. Yes, if you don't feel like you are an embodied hell yes in your body, mind, body, spirit, they're all screaming yes at the same time, then it's a no. It's a no for now. And if it's a maybe, if you're hemming and hawing and don't know, if it's a maybe, it's a no for now. All maybes are also no's. It's just easier to honor the maybes in your life as a no because it keeps things clean and clear. And then you can enter into the sacred inquiry of like, okay, well, if I'm a maybe now, what do I need to feel comfortable and safe and really good to step into a yes? Is there something that you can ask for or create for yourself that would take you from a maybe to a hell yes? Okay, and then we have move. A long walk is good for the soul. Get outside and allow Mother Nature to lift your spirits. We have space. The quality of your life has more to do with what you remove from your life than what you add to it. Give yourself the gift of space. I was just talking about this with a friend. What do I always say? If you've been here, you've heard me say this a million times. Our job at any given moment is to love ourselves enough, to take up enough space, to go at our own pace so that we can access wise discernment. It's just true, right? Anytime we're rushing, we don't have time to actually check in with the self, check in with the mind, body, spirit of self and of the other and come to some sort of aligned decision. And I know some of you are probably thinking, Karen, no way do I have time to do that. Well, you get better and better at it and you don't need as much time. So I highly recommend kind of practicing this inner presence, this micro presence. Can we become even more refined in our decision making, in our yes? Can we bring all of that sacred awareness to the body to check in what's going on? Because I believe 100% that our body answers the questions for us long before our mind gets to an answer. So if you could just practice the skill of listening to the body, listen to the physical cues that show up in the body. It might show up as flutters in your stomach or some tingles in your chest or, weight on the shoulders if you're feeling a lot of pressure of a situation. All of these little cues mean something. And the sooner we can learn the language of our own bodies, the sooner we will be able to take more steps that are in alignment with the spirit. And then we have authenticity. Live life for you, not the audience in your head. Ooh. I love how sometimes I go on a whole rant and then I pull the card after that is talking about what I just talked about. This is it. Authenticity. We are being called to come into greater authenticity with self. I know this kind of recently just went viral, this thing about, I forget what it was called, I think it's called the Spain test, where they test the frequencies of different emotions. And, everyone's like, okay, what's the highest frequency on the planet? And everybody wanted to say love, right? Because it's, a fun fairy tale moment. It's love. Love is the strongest thing on the planet, right? It's a beautiful thing to say. However, authenticity was the highest vibrational frequency that they could get a reading on. So when we are authentic, we are in our greatest power. We can access our deepest truth and live life from that truth, from that power. And then we have self as our last card. Let's see. If beating yourself up worked, you'd be thin, rich, and happy. Try loving yourself instead. Yeah, I mean, I don't love what that card just said, but, I really like this image here of no one's going to set the self free. It's your job here as a, incarnated soul in a human body. We take these next steps to get closer to this unconditional love and infinite oneness. And only we can set ourselves free in that moment. Okay, should we get some Divine Beloved cards? Sure, why not? Let's do it. Okay, let's see, what are we going to wrap up on for Divine Feminines? That's way too many. Anything else for Divine Feminines? Anything else for Divine Feminines? Anything else? Anything else? Okay. We have Divinity. I know my true identity. May I always remember my true identity, unlimited light and love. Let me know myself as pure consciousness. Wake me from my sleepwalk of believing I am only human. Beautiful. Attachment. I release all attachments. Change me, Divine Beloved, into one who trusts that the perfect relationship always arrives on time. Let me feel worthy and deserving of love. And then we have, interesting, worthy was in reverse. So, yeah, it makes sense. Love was also in the unconscious position. Time to bring self-love out of the shadows into the light, feminines. Worthy, it says, I know my own worth. Change me, Divine Beloved, into one who knows my worth. Let me feel entitled to speak my authentic truth with love. May I know that I deserve to be surrounded by those who value me. Let's see, how much time do we have left? I'm going to grab a quick Divine Feminine card. Oop. We have several, but I'm just going to pick one. We have Purify the Mind with Wholesome Thoughts. Calmness arises. No, I'm going to read more. I'm just going to read until we run out of time. In wisdom, you are aware of the processes of privileging and punishing yourself. Reflect and let them go. There is nothing better than you can give to a person than to be present with them. Don't let worldly temptations lead you astray, and exert yourself with thoughts of benevolence. Be soft in your speech. Beautiful reading, feminines. I'm going to leave it there. I hope this was supportive, and I will lovingly see you in the next one.